These are always the worst hog rings to get in.
Because you can't see what you're doing.
Yep,
You can't
absolutely
see.
nothing. And you really have to, before you do any squeezing, you really have to push down there so that they're going to go down to the wire.
If you flipped up the side bolster there, could you see better? As you were putting on the ring?
No, because you've got to have this down in. And you really, you've still got layers on top of it.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So you really can't see, really see what you're doing.
Seems like the feel with your finger.
Right, except that you're using this thing with the washing on it.
Put your finger in start.
Yeah, put your finger in there, yeah.
It seems to be a little bit more
We
distant.
only do it once.
Oh no.
Best to figure out your
Oh,
to
no.
your seat.
Convince you do it many times.
So we have to lean on it.
And as long as you get 3 or 4 or 5 at the most, you've got that hole on the seam you've got to put anyway. But I don't suggest doing it when it's quite this far. It's going to be fine for the upholstery, it's just going to take a toll on the workers. Jones helped me with this some, and she says I should have brought a piece of cardboard that I could have put some colorful paint on for you to watch also.
Should have worn your other shorts.
Yeah. The other problem with these hooking onto these springs is you've got to get them in a direction in which the thing won't just slide on you.
Doesn't the frame have protrusions in there to put the hogs on, or is that only when you put the vinyl cover on?
That's only for the cover.
Alright.
The rest of this, you're just trying to get it onto those loopy springs and get it in a point where it will, in the loop part of the spring.
I went to the assembly line for Winnebago, and when they make those huge seats that people sit on, use them for cushions. You think to yourself, man, you do one yourself, that's fun. And they showed some guy had worked there, figured a simple way to do it for you, vacuumized it.
Yeah.
It was blows your mind. Takes that big piece of foam and it shrinks it down to a piece of toast. And then they like pop it inside of this, inside the inside of the thing, and just.
Wow, that'd be nice.
If you would have seen that, you would have said, that kid, simple.
Yeah.
And the guy just designed with the bowls and put this down there. And when it gets all set down, he puts the exterior cover that you want to sit on, and then he lets it go and jumps in there.
Was like a big, like a vacuum bag? Like a vacuum bag?
Yeah. When they make the huge seats, which is because years ago they had to stuff it. It took them a while. And this guy, as fast as he can suck it, he's pushing the thing down. And it can be any size, because whatever the phone they give him, or whatever cover they give him, he just does the vacuum. And they pop it in.
I like to put slightly more clips underneath here than GM did. This material is not the strongest, so I probably add another 2 or 3 on either side more than what GM would have done.
Now you're just pulling to a light tension on that foam on the side when you wrap
Yeah.
it?
And again, if you're a professional upholstery shop, you've got more of a feel than what I have as to just how much you want to do that. So I'm probably only slightly more qualified to do this than any of you.
Here's some more experience.
But since there's no cotton on there, you gotta watch how much you pucker or pull that foam down, right? You wanna make that fairly smooth when you're pulling that in?
The seat's going to help push it back some to fill it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I try to do is end up this side is maybe still just a little bit higher than this side. And probably that's because of the good idea of doing that down so that it wouldn't move. So this one I still would like just a little bit more tension on.
You chose not to take the tracks off for a reason.
What's that?
You chose not to take the tracks off when you're doing this for a reason.
Mainly to save time.
Okay.
Luckily, these tracks are pretty clean and not bad.
They're not, but they're sharp. Chances are by the time you're done, you're going to scrape on your stuff.
So again, if you forgot where you were at, you could always look at the original, see where those were hooked. You start getting too much tearing like this, I'm getting a little tear there, that's right at absolute maximum. That's probably a quarter of an inch too much pull. Oh, have a clean table.
I'm trying to keep it good.
The next thing we've got to do, and again, we don't have to worry about pulling it out because we're not going to use this. So we can just cut right around this listing in order to get the wire out that's in here. Put that in. Got our other two wires. I have not been able to find this fabric-covered wire in long enough pieces. I found it like 18 inches at a craft store. So if anyone knows where you can buy long lengths of this, let me know. I've been still trying to find out. And 18 inches doesn't quite cut it for this thing.
We get quite a bit of our upholstery material and stuff from an Amish warehouse,
Huh, okay.
and they might be able to do that for you.
So this is the big piece that's going to go around the bottom. That was held on with the first, oh, we still need that. That was held on with the first hog rings we removed. But right here, when we're pulling the seat down, that's also got wires. So we need to cut these two out. That one and that one. And these wires are hooked at the end. Generally, you can get that to shove through the new upholstery without unbending the end of it. If you find that you can't, then it's okay to straighten one end so you can stick the wire through easier. So just like the one we just took off, we've got a listing here that we've got to get the wire to go through.
You're not gonna sandpaper it or something a little bit?
We didn't think to have sandpaper.
No.
If anybody's got any, that would be nice, but. This one, the factory sold the listing all the way across, and that's exactly what we do. But then you have to cut a hole in order to get the wire in. And we'll see if these are going to cooperate and go in. We've got, same thing, we've got listing right here on either side that we've got to put these wires in. Nope, it's going to be a little bit tight on this. So if you find it's going to be a little tight, just take and bend it so you can straighten it out. Insert that. I would love to see them doing these things on the assembly line. I mean, you can see how much, obviously they didn't have to take them apart, but they did have to put them together. And obviously, you know, we aren't doing this all day long, day after day. But still, to do that, and any of you that have tried putting nail strips on an early door panel, that must have been so time consuming. I can't imagine if they're turning out 1,000 cars a day or more. How many people did they have putting those nail strips on the door panels in order to install them? And that was not a new process, because my 1938 Chevy, the door panels are held on exactly the same way. So it took them all the way from sometime back in the 30s until 1965 when they decided to just put the little clips on and just pop the door on. Somebody should have gotten a raise finally for doing that. And just a plug for us doing the nail strips, unless you just absolutely love to say that you did absolutely everything yourself on your car, don't bother tackling the early door panel nail strips. It's not worth the aggravation.
Does Velcro work pretty good?
On what? The door panels?
Yeah.
Never tried it.
Well, that's what a lot of rockers do. They use Velcro.
Yeah.
And then they got now, this newest thing is magnets.
Oh, that's not original though.
Right on, you just mentioned it, they're going to use that with those nails, so they use it out. Luckily, it doesn't, don't pull your panels.
Yeah.
Plus the plastic.
You talk about the new ceramic magnets that are very thin and super strong.
Very tiny. What they do is they have a process either so it depends on how you want to make it attach to your thing, and then you just put it. Because you know most of your panels are metal,
Yeah.
and you just put that piece right on there, and they're impressive because you've got them right there on display. If you try to pull the panel up, you have to really put something under there to get it started so you grab a hold of it. The Velcro works well too. Very well. I don't know how it makes heat, but
This does not always go in this easy. We've got it halfway in and we haven't struggled yet. Sometimes what you'll find is that you've got to go like this and then give it a little push and work it like that. You can also twist this a little bit. So far, like I said, it's going pretty good. It also helps when you have somebody keeping it fairly straight where we've got to get it through.
Would it help if the tape on the end says it doesn't cut into the fabric?
Possibly, but
You have
us
enough
guys
fabric?
aren't going to bother with that. That sounds like a real good way of doing it, but you know, we aren't going to. But yeah, I suppose, but then you got that additional tape wrapped on it, which may give a problem. I've never had really much of a problem getting this in, but every once in a while you have to kind of work it like that and pull back. And the listing comes back further than the wire. So basically what you're trying to do is get the wire in so it's the same amount on either side. And again, I have no idea why they left all the listing, if that they felt just kind of reinforced it when they pulled this around and clipped it or what. Since there's nobody for us to ask, we just do it the way they did it. Okay, so we got the wire in pretty good. Now, so we've got this wire in this listing that's at the back of our seat. We've got the seat bun pulled as far back as we could. Like I said, I think the factory did this all at one time. No, not me. Get the seat bun attached, then we'll worry about stuffing this wire down in. And before we do any attaching, the other thing we're worried about is, are these listings with these two wires lining up with our groove and our seat bun?